Hey, bitch. You know what? Let's just get right into it. Everybody's been wondering, Taylor, what happened with your ex? What did he do? Why haven't you spoken about it? What's going on? What the fuck is wrong with this motherfucker? We're just gonna get right into it. So, for those of you that don't know me, hi, my name is Taylor-Nicole Limas, otherwise known as Lady Aguilera 2.0 on TikTok. I got popular because I took my brother's cats to the vet, thought I found my soulmate. Turns out he wasn't, and I've been dating shitty men ever since. So if you'd like to join the fucking circus, please follow me on TikTok. So for those of you that don't know, I was dating this guy that I referred to as LaLa Man online, and I publicly documented our entire relationship. We referred to him as LaLa Man because he took me to Lollapalooza in August of 2021. That's when we first started dating. So in light of recent events, I was never going to publicly talk about it. I've always alluded that my ex did something illegal and he did something that he wasn't supposed to, and the betrayal is off the fucking charts. I felt like I was in an investigation discovery, like a CSI episode. I did not feel like my life was real at a certain point, but I never spoke about it because I always felt like I needed to protect him in some weird, sick, twisted fucking way. And I no longer feel like that in light of recent events. So what sparked all of this, my ex decided to post an Instagram story saying, I'm not a love bomber. I'm not a narcissist. My ex is just used to dating cheap, broke men. And so for those of you that are confused, I started dating a different guy recently. Things ended and I found out he was also a liar. My ex must have seen that and then took that upon himself to be like, oh, I could use this to defend myself against the love bombing and narcissism by saying it's a her problem. She's just dating cheap, broke men. But what he doesn't realize is he was the first cheap, broke man that I dated, allegedly. Now remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is all alleged tea. It's all allegedly. So just keep that in mind going forward. He posted this Instagram story. This really pissed me off. This pissed me off in several reasons because I never said what he did. I kept his name and reputation safe by not saying what he did. His family members, only his mother knows what he did. His friends don't know what he did. The only people that know is me, my family, and my friends, and his mother. I don't even think his father knows what he did. So let me take you back through the timeline of everything, because let's just pretend that you guys are newcomers. Let me give you the spark notes. Me and my ex-boyfriend dated for a year and a half, okay? And maybe 8 months into it, I almost died. I got into a really bad accident. Spark notes that. When you're in the beginning of a relationship, you're trying to figure out like who the ex is, who the sister is, who's the brother. Like, is that an aunt? Is that his lover? Like, you're going through the Facebook, you're going through his Instagram followers, you're trying to figure out his previous hookups, his previous sneaky links. And us women, I'm sorry, we're FBI agents. We can figure out everything. In the beginning of me and LaLa Man's relationship, there was this girl that I had seen that he had liked a bunch of her pictures and commented on her pictures, right? Mental note that. I screenshotted everything. I'm a screenshot queen. I have a file on everybody. You cannot come up on me. Like, I'm sorry, but I have a file on you. I had a bunch of these screenshots and I never told him. It just kept it in the back of my mind because if she started popping up again, then I knew that there was an issue because I had a feeling that he had hooked up with this girl. Mind you, I did not know who this girl was, okay? Did not know who she was. I just noticed that he liked her pictures, he commented on her pictures, and I had a feeling that they had hooked up in the past. Fast forward to the night that I found out I was getting cheated on. The last month of our relationship, we were fighting so much. I think there was 5 solid days that we did not fight in the last month of our relationship. I had been in therapy for a year and a half at that point. Our entire relationship, I was in therapy. At this point, my therapist was like urging me to go, like to leave the relationship, but making sure that I make my own decision. And I kept wanting to stay because I thought this in some girl, I was brainwashed. I thought that I was like, this is a rough patch. This is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to fight through your relationship. That's how you fight for it. The night that I found out I was getting cheated on, we went out, we had wine, we had a night out in the city. It was great. It was wonderful. I had a great time. We came home. He had a little bit of too much wine to drink. He went to sleep. His phone is on the kitchen counter. You already know where this is going. I grab his phone. I look at it and I'm like, Taylor, you've worked so hard in therapy to work on your trust issues. You've worked so hard in therapy to build a stable, loving relationship. Is this something you want to do? Do you want to be the reason why you break the trust? These are the type of questions I'm asking because I think we're in a healthy relationship in my head at this point. I walk away from his phone and I'm not even joking you. I am not even joking you. There was a voice that came down from the heavens and spoke directly into my brain and said, Taylor, you are so stupid if you do not go through that man's phone. You are so dumb if you do not go through that man's phone. You will regret this for the rest of your life. I literally heard a voice in my head. So what do I do, bitch? I go through the fucking phone. What the fuck? God came down and spoke to me. You think I'm not going to go through that man's phone? I go through his phone. Okay, asterisks. I'm going to do a side toxic girl advice. If you are ever going through a man's phone, significant other's phone, and you're determined to go through this man's phone, there's a level at which you need to do this. You need to go to the messages and search your name. You need to search any name that you think he's sleeping with, a girl's name, whatever, right? Let's just say her name's Ashley. Search that name. You need to go to Snapchat. Look through any type of ads. You need to sign out of Snapchat because a lot of these men have backup accounts, and see if there's another account. You need to go to Instagram, look at the messages, and you need to go to the photo album, and you do not need to go to the regular pictures. You need to go to the screenshots, and you need to go through the deleted album. Okay? That's the order in which I do things. I did my little order. I'm quick with it because sometimes you only got 5 minutes and you need to figure this shit out. I go through the deleted album and I see nudes. 7 to 10 nudes. But not only do I see nudes, I see screenshots. The girl in the beginning that I had a feeling about, I see screenshots of her Instagram and her nudes on his phone in his deleted album. So now my mind's racing. I was fucking right, bitch. That's why you always gotta listen to your intuition and like things that you're feeling, even though they might not make sense. Because in the beginning of our relationship, I'm like, oh, that's probably just the girl. You make excuses for things. Like, oh, that's probably just the girl that he knew. That's probably just the girl that he hooked up with in the past. No, bitch, this was a way bigger problem than I ever anticipated. So I see these photos, right? And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Why is there screenshots of not only her Instagram, but her nudes? And then there's other girls' nudes and their Instagrams. It was very weird, okay? At this point, I've already gone through people's phones before, and I already know if you find something, you're going to find, like, that's a little pebble to what you're actually going to find. And I already knew at this point he was probably cheating on me. He wakes up. God woke his ass up. He comes into the kitchen. He's like, what's going on? He sees I have his phone. I look like I'm going to fucking kill him. So he's like, what the fuck? Like, what's going on? What's going on? And I turn the phone around to show the nude. Side note, toxic girl advice. Whenever you're going through somebody's phone and you find information, you screenshot everything and you send it to yourself, because they will delete it, they will gaslight you, and they will make you think that what you saw you didn't see. So you always screenshot the evidence and you send it to yourself. And then you delete it so they don't know that you have it, so you could just watch them lie to you. So I turn the phone around. I'm like, what the fuck is this? He's like, stuttering and shit. And I'm like, what is this? He's like, I only sent that to him once. Mind you, all he sees is the nude. He didn't see that I was in the deleted album. He didn't see that I was like, what app I was in. He just saw the nude. So he's not realizing that he's snitching on himself. In the past, publicly, online, I have told everybody that's where it ended. I found the nudes. He admitted he cheated, and I kept it moving. I ended up moving out the next day. That's not really what happened. What really happened, I'm about to tell you, is so shocking, disgusting, and the betrayal is so off the fucking charts that it might actually make you sick to your stomach. So if you have popcorn in your hand, please put it down now. He says, I only sent them to him once. I'm like, him? Who the fuck is him? And I'm like, who is this girl? Because I had issues like with this girl in the beginning. I knew something was up with this girl in the beginning. I didn't know this at the time. I found this out later. But the girl that I thought that I saw in the beginning of the relationship, that I screenshotted her Instagram because I had some type of feeling about her, and the nudes, that same girl with the nudes on his phone, is his best friend's ex-girlfriend. Best friend's ex-girlfriend. Mind you, his best friend is in love with this girl. His best friend was trying to get this girl back. All the while, my ex had nudes of her on his phone. Like, it runs so deep, you don't even fucking know, bitch. I go, what do you mean you sent them to him? What the fuck are you talking about? Who's him? And this is when he tells me, I've been Snapchatting a guy, sending him pictures of you. You can imagine my jaw hitting the floor, because I just found nudes of another girl, and now we're talking about pictures of me. Now there's a guy involved. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? He goes, this guy, I knew him from college. Mind you, we both went to the same college. Because I knew him from college, and I randomly added him on Snapchat. And I was like, why? And he goes, I wanted to explore sexual fantasies, is what he called it. And I go, what do you mean? I'm not understanding. He goes, I added this guy on Snapchat, and I asked him, remember, this is all alleged. This is all alleged. He's like, I added this guy on Snapchat that I knew, and I posed as a cuck. So for those of you that don't know what a cuck is basically when your significant other is turned on by seeing you hook up with somebody else. So he's like, yeah, I posed as a cuck and I messaged this guy, said, would you be interested in hooking up with my girlfriend? Like, this is what we're into. Without my knowledge, okay? And I'm like, okay. And then what happened? He's like, and the guy said, mind you, I'm staying calm because I'm trying to extract as much information as possible because I'm literally in shock. Okay. I go, okay, so what happened? He goes, let me see a picture of your girlfriend. And so he sent a picture from my Instagram to hit this guy. And he goes, oh, she's hot. And he goes, yeah, like, what would you do to her? He goes, I don't know. Send me more pictures. He's like, and it just kind of escalated from there. I'm like, what do you mean it escalated from there? He was like, this guy would just like ask me for pictures of you and I would send him pictures of you and he would respond of what he would do to you. And this was our relationship. At this point, I'm like, pictures? What pictures were you sending him of me? Because he hasn't really said. And I'm like, he's like, I just pictures, and now he's scared. He's like, pictures of your Snapchat or pictures of you on Instagram and you know, your Instagram stories or like videos that you would send me in bikinis. And I'm like, hold up. I'm like, what does this have to do with the nudes that are on your phone? He goes, well, he was asking for more and more revealing pictures and I didn't have any. And I'm putting quotations, didn't have any because he did have some. And I'm about to get to that in a second. He's like, so I was taking this girl's OnlyFans pictures, which was his best friend's ex, cropping them where it's just like very revealing photos of her private parts and sending them to him and saying it was you. And I go, show me these pictures that you were sending to this guy. He then proceeds to pull up a hidden album of hundreds of pictures and videos of me in my own home, minding my own business, zooming into my ass, zooming into my boobs, zooming into my vagina area. Like, when I tell you this dated back to the beginning of our relationship that he was taking pictures and videos of me without my knowledge. There are videos and pictures of me intoxicated, laying down and my top's up, or I'm in my underwear and I'm laying down because I'm fucked up and I'm trusting this person. Do you know how sick and disgusted I felt when I saw these pictures and videos? And I was like, and I was looking at him like, these are pictures. I'm like, I'm not even paying attention. He goes, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah, you know. What the fuck are you doing? And I'm like, and then there's nudes of me on his phone. So I don't know what he was talking about, saying that he needed more revealing. The more revealing he was referring to was basically a full-blown shot of my vagina is what he was looking for. And that's what he didn't get. So he used his best friend's ex-girlfriend's OnlyFans to send to this guy because she had a picture of her vagina online and he used her vagina to pose as my vagina. I can't even make this up. I cannot even make this up. The pictures and videos that he had on his phone were from the beginning of our relationship. So he's saying he just started this. That's bullshit. That is 1000% bullshit. Allegedly. So he tells me this. Mind you, earlier that night when we were having this amazing night that I thought, he tried to convince me to start an OnlyFans, and I was adamant that I did not want to start an OnlyFans. I was like, no, I don't want to do that. That's not on my path. That's not on my journey. I want to do these other things. I was telling him my goals and ambitions. He was like, I know girls that make a lot of money on OnlyFans. I know girls. You should do it. And I'm like, no, I don't want to. And you know why he was trying to convince me of that? One, because he was already doing it. He was basically pimping me out to this guy. I don't know if he received money. Based on his track record, which I will get to in a second, he has paid girls for their nudes. So it's kind of looking like, based on what I've pieced together, that he was pimping me out, allegedly, but I don't know that for sure. I asked him, I'm like, if that's the case, and you were using your best friend's ex-girlfriend's nudes to pose as me, why are there pictures of her Instagram and other girls and their other OnlyFans nudes on your phone? He goes, well, then I started to tell him that I can get other girls and I could send him other girls if he wants to. So he was sending him a smorgasbord of women's Instagrams telling him that he could get nudes of them. Now I'm confused. I don't understand the point of this. And he was telling me, mind you, he was at this point in time, like, his whole personality is wrapped around money. Okay. Like me, I'm authentically me, whether I'm broke or I got money. I'm still going to be me. I'm still going to be funny. I'm still going to be who I am as a person. His personality is wrapped around money. He had the flashy car and he used that to like impress girls and stuff, you know? He bought me a shit ton of stuff. He love bombed the shit out of me. I'm over here thinking, this boy's in love with me. I didn't know about love bombing. I didn't know what that meant. He was running out of money. He lost his job. He lost his car. All he had was the condo. And he had no money. He had zero money. And so he was looking for a way to make money. And then he, on top of that, he was about to finish his schooling and he was pushing it off because the minute he finished his schooling, he was going to have to pay back student loans. So he was looking for a way to make money because he was about to be in a fucking shithole. Okay. And he was using me. The amount of exploitation I have felt in that moment is unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. And I would like to bring you there with me for a second. So let's go back into that moment. I find out he's using pictures of me. He's sending them to this random guy. This random guy I do not know. And he pulls up the chat too and shows me that he's been talking to this guy and sending my photos. The photos are in there. I could not believe this. Like, I genuinely could not believe this. So imagine this. Your significant other, you find out, is taking pictures and videos of you from the beginning of your relationship. Would you not feel fucking used? Would you not feel exploited? Would you not feel like he was in it for other purposes to serve himself? Did you not feel like that? Because I did. I felt used. I felt exploited. I felt disgusted at the fact that this random person, and I know what the guy looks like, this person that I wouldn't pay no fucking mind to, has pictures of me that I would not even think to send to him. I call up my cousin. I tell my cousin everything. My cousin's like, absolutely not, Taylor. You're not staying there. I don't feel safe with you being there. You need to get out of there. She comes with a good family friend of mine. I tell them everything and I'm like bawling my eyes out when she comes. When she came, I needed, like, I will never forget when my cousin came, because at that moment I needed a safe space, because my own home and my own partner who I felt was safe, I did not feel safe at anymore. So I just was so unstable and did not feel like I had a safe space. So when she came to pick me up, I needed a safe space. I needed somebody to like hold me up in that moment, because I never in my life felt so betrayed and exploited at such a level that deep. When she came to pick me up, our good family friend starts looking in the showers and in the light bulbs, and they think that he put cameras everywhere. And good for them for thinking that, because they're looking out for my safety, because I was in a weakened state, because I was so emotional and I was so shocked, that they're thinking logically, they're thinking smart. They're like, what if there's cameras in here? And so they start looking for cameras because they don't know what he's capable of. My cousin, I'll never forget, she goes, you don't know him. You never knew him. You don't know who he is. And do you know what that's like to feel like, to literally 3 months prior thinking that you're going to marry somebody, and then 2 months later finding out that they did all this and you don't even know who the fuck that they are? You don't even know who they are. I did some boss girl shit. I packed up all my stuff and I moved out the next day. Remember, this is all alleged. He decides to confess to me. Not only did he do that, but he also cheated on me back in July when I almost died. So I got into an accident. I almost died. I was in and out of the hospital for 2 weeks. During that 2 weeks, he was cheating on me with 2 or 3 other women. He was asking for nudes and paying for them. What he would do is he would send the same message over and over to all these girls. Hi, my name is so-and-so. I run a couple businesses. I have a lot of money. I'm looking for somebody to spoil. I'm looking for somebody I could send weekly deposits to. Mind you, while he had no money, and he was sending these messages, and then he was paying these girls for nudes. So you can see where I started to connect the dots, in that if he as a person was able to pay for these nudes and get these nudes, that he could use me to scam other men to get nudes, to get them to buy nudes. That's where I think his mindset was. I think his mindset went further and was like, man, if I could convince her to start an OnlyFans, we would be rich. That's what I think he was thinking. But this is all alleged. I don't know the extent of it. I don't know what he did with my photos. I had him delete them all. But who knows at that point? He could have screenshotted them. He could have emailed them to himself. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. And so you can understand my frustration when he posts an Instagram story saying, I'm not a love bomber. My ex is just used to dating cheap, broke men. I get a girl what she wants. You get a girl what she wants? And the irony in all of this The irony in all this, he posts that Instagram story to set me off, to dog me. He wants to really insult me, saying I date cheap, broke men. When I know this information, and not only that, he's trying to become a photographer. He's trying to become a photographer after he did all this shit to me. Where my concern is the women he's going to date going forward. That's where my concern is. Is he going to get somebody who's more vulnerable? Is he going to get somebody who's younger, who's maybe in a more compromised mental state? This is something that people literally kill themselves over. Having leaked nudes. This is something I had to deal with for the past 6 months, knowing that he has this and that at any point in time, he could choose to leak these. He can choose to fucking post them. He could choose to do that. They're out there. That's it. Like, what am I supposed to do about that? I chose in the beginning to leave quietly and to not tell anybody about this. I chose to protect his reputation. I chose to not say anything. And you know what? I'm fucking done protecting his safety and his reputation when he didn't give a fuck about mine or my privacy. So he can thank himself for this information getting out, because I was never going to talk about it. Because honestly, it hurts me more in the long run, because now people know that this information is out there. And who knows? There's weird people out there. People can go looking for this. There could be a Reddit page of me. There could be a fucking, I don't know. There could be anything out there of me. But at this point, I'm tired of protecting other people and not saying anything for the sake of trying to be a good person when he's out here still talking about me. So hopefully this will end this once and for all, and he'll stop talking about me and I don't have to talk about it anymore. But that's what he did, in case you're wondering. That's the type of person he is. He can sit there and he could try to deny it all he wants. I have a written text message of him admitting this. I have a written text message that he texted me from his phone number saying, I took photos of you without your consent, without your knowledge. I took nude photos of you without your consent, without your knowledge. Written exactly as that. I just want to let women out there know to be wary of this, to be aware that this could happen to you, that this can happen to you. It happens to me. I never in my life thought that something like this would happen to me. I genuinely thought that I knew this person. I thought I trusted this person. I did everything right. I waited 3 months to date this person. We were dating for 1.5 years. We were planning on getting married. We moved in together. We did everything correct. And this is what happened to me. There are Reddit pages and group chats and Snapchat group chats of men and women sending nudes of their significant others because they think it's funny, or sending videos. Guys will send videos of them hooking up with a girl and send it to somebody. And I hope by me telling this story and my story that more women are aware that this could happen to you. Please be safe out there. Remember, this is all alleged. This is all alleged tea. See you on the next episode where we talk about how my ex got me my own stalker. Love you.